The reason why you always feel like nothing is ever enough is because you will constantly want more, and more. Hello y'all, welcome back to another video dedicated to help you break out of the cycle of toxic behaviors and relationships in your personal and romantic area of your life. In this video, we're going to be talking about the wound of feeling not enough and how that manifests into your relationships and the career area of your life. When you're thinking about the standard of what is enough or what is not enough, this is a perception in your mind that you've placed on yourself on what your standard should be. However, the difference between someone who has a wound of feeling not enough, they subconsciously have this void within them where they feel like they have to constantly fill it to feel as if they are enough. So for them, fulfilling this need is not coming from a place of abundance, of want, of opportunity. It's coming from a place of need, of desperation. It's feeling as if they're unsafe if they don't fulfill this need to feel enough. What this can look like in your relationships in particular is protest behaviors where you're constantly trying to seek this feeling of enoughness. Maybe you're constantly testing your partner to see if they care. You're constantly asking for reassurance. You're constantly wanting to be on the phone with them, on texting them, because any form of connection or communication for you validates that you are enough. If you lean more towards the avoidance side, what this also can look like is pushing other people away because you don't feel as if you're enough. You don't think you deserve their love, so you push them away, you withdraw, you constantly question if you're not enough. And I made a video talking about why you push other people away and how to actually accept love in my last video. So you can click here if you want to watch that. But the reason why you want to be conscious of this wound is because it can very much manifest into your relationships and end up pushing your partner away. For example, if you lean more towards the anxious side of the attachment style, this wound will show up as constantly asking for reassurance, asking for more, trying to see if your partner cares so that you do feel enough. But when you show up in a relationship constantly asking for more and wanting to fulfill this void within you, then if your partner also has a wound of feeling not enough, they're going to receive that as, oh my goodness, everything that I do is not enough. They constantly want more, it's never ending, and they almost feel hopeless, like they can't give you exactly what you need. And so it starts to create this perpetual cycle of trying to chase and fulfill this need, even if it is in an unhealthy relationship. If you're noticing the pattern, you'll start to realize that this is why you'll never feel as if anything is ever enough for you, because you will always want more and more because of this void. And now the biggest mistake that people make here is that they try to fulfill this need externally, trying to fulfill it with other people, in their career, in the things that they do. They try to prove themselves externally, but when they don't receive that validation, they will take that as, I'm not enough. They won't see that as, oh, maybe this person's busy, maybe they aren't able to validate me the same way that I want to. They won't see it as, oh, maybe this person is busy, that's why they weren't able to answer my call. Or maybe they're tired, that's why they aren't able to give as much energy as they usually do. They will see it as, oh, it must be me. It must be I'm the problem and I'm not enough. We end up taking everything personally, even if it might not be the case. So how do we start healing? What do we do to combat this? What we want to do is start learning how to fulfill this need internally instead of externally. The only way you'll truly feel as if you're enough is if you believe it yourself. Before I tell you the tips and tricks on how to start healing and how to start feeling enough within, I'm going to share with you how this also might manifest in the career area of your life. When it comes to feeling good enough in the career area of your life, you'll start to notice that the same narrative of wanting to do more and more will also show up. So what I've noticed with a lot of my clients is that they will tend to be high achievers. They will tend to be the type of person that puts high standards for themselves and want to do things perfectly. And because they put such high expectations for themselves, when they do not meet it, because it might be unrealistic, it might be way too high, you probably wouldn't even put it on your friend, you feel guilty and you take it personally and you think to yourself, I'm not enough. That's why I wasn't able to accomplish it. The truth is that might not necessarily be true. It might just be that you're putting way too much on your plate and it's unrealistic. And you'll start to notice that you build this unhealthy relationship with working and you'll find yourself constantly doing a lot and then burning out afterwards. So you end up procrastinating because you're trying to avoid that feeling of failure. You end up trying to prove yourself at work, overloading and taking up too much for the team even when you can't do it. So you take more and more work responsibilities, your boss gives you more, and then you start to feel resentful because you feel like this is too much and you can't do it. or you end up inevitably burning out because you didn't take the time to recharge. One analogy that I love using with my clients is that we have to treat ourselves as if we were a phone. The same way that a phone needs to charge in order to work correctly, the same way that we need to charge and rest, right? If we're not resting, we will also act like a phone on 1%. Laggy, not working correctly, not functioning correctly, not being able to perform our best, and it will start affecting other people and other areas of our life. So it's not about how much I can do now so I can feel enough. It's how much can I do and I can rest, and so I can show up better the next time I need to do something. Remember, it's not a race, it's a marathon. If you've gotten this far in the video already, I'm gonna share with you some tips on how to start feeling enough internally and some steps that you can take so you can start fulfilling your own needs. Number one, the first thing that you wanna do is list down what makes you feel significant and enough. Is it when other people acknowledge you? Is it when you feel like you're making a difference in the world and you're significant in your team? Is it when you're getting attention from your partner? Is it when they're talking to you and they're actually connecting and wanting to listen to what you have to say? All these things that I listed is externally. So if you want to start creating some internal behaviors, you want to think about what is behind that need that we just listed. So for the strategy, oh, I love it when my partner listens to me and they actually take time to hear what I have to say. I feel like I'm enough in those moments. Strategy behind that is intentionally listening and giving ourselves attention. So how can we create a habit for ourselves with those two traits that we just listed? Well, one thing that we can do to give ourselves attention is check in with ourselves. Celebrate your small wins. Give yourself attention and time to acknowledge everything that you've done. If you love when other people acknowledge you and how far you've already come, acknowledge yourself. Take time to journal down, list down all the accomplishments you've already done. Make a vision board of all your goals and all the things that you've already been able to accomplish. And celebrate your small wins, right? It doesn't have to be other people constantly celebrating you. You can also celebrate yourself as well. So when you start to acknowledge how far you've actually come and take tangible steps to get closer to your goal, you will eventually fulfill this need of feeling like you're enough. Because at the end of the day, you don't need to do anything to prove yourself. As human, you inherently have value, your energy, your presence. The second thing that you want to do is not just focus on the things that are easily malleable. You're not enough because you have X amount of money in your bank. You're not enough because you're X amount of weight. Instead of focusing on everything physically, externally, things that are malleable, focus on the things that are concrete. For me, I love the fact that I have a childlike spirit. I love the fact that I persevere even though it gets hard. So what I'm doing is listing down behaviors, traits that I truly value about myself, that I recognize that makes me feel as if I am enough. And so take time to focus on the things that are not as malleable because there is a lot more foundation in those areas. But with that said, if you're looking for more in-depth healing and you actually want to start feeling as if you're enough, then book a call with me and we can work on healing your wounds together. Comment down below, where would you like to start feeling as if you're enough and what have you accomplished so far that you're proud of? Like, subscribe, and as always, you got this.